Yes, welcome back to Phone Lookout. So today I felt like I should show you how to replace the screen of the iPhone X at the comfort of your homes. That's should be able to actually acquire the screen or access it from wherever you are. It goes without saying, to be able to replace the screen of the iPhone 6, first you have to be able to open the phone in order to remove the screen itself. So there are two things that you might need to notice in trying to open this phone. The screen is held by adhesive around the peripheries of the phone, and on top of that it has the lock and key mechanism that the other older iPhones from the 5 upwards have. So what you will do is you will need to warm the peripheries of the phone and then pry in between the phone frame and the screen. Just look at the glass on the top and then that plastic layer. You'll have to get in between that to release the lock and key mechanism. But in doing so, do not attempt to lift up the screen entirely, because unlike the iPhone 6 where the fibers are connected from the upper side, this one, like the 8, it's I think 7, have the fibers connected on the sides of the phone. So you will have to watch out. The right hand side of the phone is held by fibers, so when prying it apart we'll want to open the screen outward towards the right. So I have pried mine already out, because to go and get a replacement screen I needed to have this phone already open. That's why I am going through how you should be able to open this phone in sort of retrospect, after having done it. So this will lift up from the left hand side towards the right, being careful not to stretch it all the way, and then this should be able to lift up to about 90 degrees, just like that. So now you can see that the LCD fiber and that goes to the, I believe, the touchscreen layer, out of their sockets already, but this goes right in there and that goes right in there, and the battery is right there, and then this other one goes in right there. So it goes without saying that of course those are never always like that. They are always plugged in and covered by this sheet of metal like that, covering all these 3 connectors into the socket. Now the iPhone 10 just uses one metal restraint to hold down all those fibers into their sockets, and I think that's the beautiful part of it. However, it again has so many connectors, which is quite interesting. And yeah, so after removing this plate, of course it goes off with a screw that looks like a Mercedes logo and the plan view. I don't know whether you can see that, but yeah, it's like a Y. I don't know whether I should call it a Y screwdriver, but yeah, that's what it is. So what happens is that this fiber comes out of that socket and that one comes out of the socket, so you pry them out and out, and then this that comes to the front facing camera modules, and the sensors at the front also has to come out, and that leaves this screen assembly free. Now I felt like, now that I'm inside the iPhone, I should just take you around slightly. Okay, actually the camera modules remain down, they do not come off with the front screen. That's my bad. That's what we have here. So anyways, this is your battery, and that those come and join and form one unit and connect through that part, and those the front facing, that's the front facing camera, and those other 2 the rear cameras are right here, this and that. It has 2 modules. This is actually at the back how it looks like. I always thought of the iPhone 10 to look ugly in design. I don't know, I still feel the 5S and the 6S have one of the most beautiful designs of the iPhone. Yeah, I don't know what you have to say about that, but that's what I think anyways. So the rest I think I shall bring to you another day, to show you how to go around about any of these other components. But yeah, that's the vibrator, that's the loudspeaker, we have the microphones, and then we have ourselves the SIM card trace, and then the motherboard right there, the rear facing camera modules, 2 of them, then that I believe comes to the flashlight. Okay, and a lot going on in there. So yeah, there's nothing really much more to show you really here. So anyway, let's proceed to replacing our screen. Of course, this is our old screen as I showed you earlier on. This screen, actually the LCD works, but the touch layer doesn't work. But then when I was buying the screen, I actually noticed that this phone was refurbished, and this screen that we are having right here is the one that the refurbishing guys used to place here. But this is an LCD screen, but the original screen of the iPhone is actually supposed to be an OLED. OLED stands for organic light emitting diode, something close to what Samsung phones flagships use, the S series, which is AMOLED. AMOLED simply being active matrix organic light emitting diode. So I was lucky that when I went looking for a replacement screen, I got this one that was available locally. I was actually quite impressed. It's the first time I went to get a replacement screen, and I got exactly what the technology that is supposed to go onto the phone. So this is how it came packed up, and it's actually a beautiful dedication to the quality of work that they are doing right here. So just look at the box packaging. They know they're selling to you a valuable product, and therefore they may do much in trying to protect it. Don't mind the fingerprints all over here. Those were when I was testing it. I'm at the store before buying. This is the gentleman who sold it to me. It's called Awali, signed against it, just to be certain I do not take back to him the screen that isn't from him. But he was a kind gentleman. He sold it to me quite fairly. I think it was under $100. Yeah, don't know whether 80 or 70, something like that. But, no, not, I think it was above $100. I'm failing with the conversions here, but you'll bear with me with that. So anyway, this is our replacement screen, which actually turns out to be OLED, and even better than the one that came with this refurbished phone. The one that came with the refurbished phone is an LCD that has been adapted to work where the AMOLED would go. So anyway, without so much of the nitty-gritties, when you notice my replacement screen here on the right there, yeah, they can't all fit into the frame. Let me see if I held it like this. But anyways, let me just show you this from the bottom upwards. When you analyze it properly from the bottom, you will notice that this one is actually deformed because of I think it was messed up. The screws refused to come out. They got so washed up, and they're supposed to be held in place by pin. So what happens is that so far, when we look at the bottom, there is a great bit of similarity, but you can notice the difference between the one that is OLED from the one that is LCD. Now when we come up, this seems to look similar, I think because of where they have to fit. It's inevitable. Then we have the connector leading to the LCD and the connector leading to the touch. Okay, then when we come to the front, you will notice that the replacement doesn't have this system. So what we will have to do is to transplant this system onto there, and they're still also held down by that Y-tip screwdriver in the plan. Okay, so what I will have to do is transfer that to there. So let me see if I can get it to open. Seeming harder than I expected it to be. My screwdriver is improvised. I try to file it down to work on such tiny screws. Yeah, I'm having trouble with that clearly. That's the challenge of not having the proper tools at your disposal. I can't believe I was in town, but I forgot to buy that screwdriver. But anyway, I'm still holding up quite well, and the key. So that one screw, let me find a way of getting it out of place. Without transplanting this, you might have problems with Face ID. So yeah, you have to always transplant it from the original to the replacement. So we are coming to the replacement. Anyway, this will just act now as a test screen for future purposes. That's if the owner allows me to stay with it. Let me actually take it aside. Now I have to place this down, and I'm quite happy that not only am I able to transplant this with ease, but it's going to sit there equally with ease. So that's my positions. Okay, right there. Don't mind the background hum, that's just my roofer system, Chinese speakers doing their thing. So bring back that screw, or my screwdriver will be kind enough to be able to close it up. I am going to have to buy a screwdriver, really. Yeah, I think it's gone in sufficiently well. Next thing is to get this down too. Yeah, it's painful. Imagine the amount of time I'm wasting here. If I just had the proper screwdriver, it would be in and out already, having to lose that screw. So after securing this front assembly, the next thing is to now plug in the screen into the frame. But then if you notice, we had adhesive on the peripheries to hold this in place, so I'm going to apply some adhesive right there. This is a bit silver. Okay. So let's get to it and apply our adhesive right there, like that. I think this is to add extra strength, or I don't know whether it was for waterproofing. Is the iPhone X waterproof? I'm not sure, but anyway, I'm still going to apply that adhesive all over the boundaries where my screen should sit. Okay, all over the edge. Yeah, this felt like the right thing to do, so it's also the right thing to do anyways. Now I have a dilemma here, that these screws of mine never came out because the person who was opening it didn't have the right screw set. So I am wondering whether I am still okay. Since these screws can't go, I'm going to bend there, but that means I'm going to apply more adhesive here, such that it's mostly held down by adhesive at that point. There's nothing I can do for it. Whoever attempted to repair it before spoiled it. I've tried to figure out removing most screws. I have failed with the tools that I have available, so I am also going to resort to simply bending this down, and life will move on. The dilemma is, will I not damage the screen? Hope not. I already tested the screen, so there's no. Okay, I hope that should allow this to sit there, and that I haven't messed up anything by squeezing. So first things first, now we're going to have to plug in these connectors. First of all, let me bring the LCD layer that's plugged in, right? Now there's one which is a serious piece of headache. That's the touch. This is the second fiber. Oh, sorry, didn't notice I was out of frame. Okay, I don't know, I was trying to use my finger to put it down. Now I realize that it shouldn't have been the fingers. Now I'll bring this last connector. Sorry about my lights. Okay, so need to bring in this last connector. My second lighting had gone down and I didn't notice. Sorry about that. So this should come and slip in between there, then the plugs. Now this iPhone fiber is a bit delicate, you don't need to really rush them. Allow it to speak back to you as you respond accordingly. I think my adhesive is slowly drying up, may need to replenish it. Okay, having done that, I'll now plug down my battery. So the first thing is to power on and see what happens. So I'm hitting the power button. Now let me try to use the charger. Okay, the screen lights up right there. I can unplug. I don't know, it was a battery issue. So as it powers on, so okay, so battery is low, everything works, and this is an OLED screen. It has a much deeper contrast than the other one that was here before. So I am going to have to close this and then seal it up. So first of all, I'll have to bring back that frame of ours in place and plug those in. Okay, screw that down. So that's the plate that I was telling you that holds the connectors, all the connectors into place. I am doing this delicately. That's why I am occasionally holding down my breath. So having done that, you can now place this into the frame and snap it down like that. Okay, and that should do the trick. Okay, and so that's what we have now. So thanks for watching Phone Lookout. Please do subscribe if you have any questions. But yeah, this is what we're having. It's a very good phone camera. Yeah, and since we're having an OLED screen, definitely it's a beautiful one. Okay, so everything is fine and no one needs to worry. So thanks for watching Phone Lookout. Please do subscribe, and that's how you replace the iPhone 10X screen here. Oh, look no further. I think yeah, having said that, just case